My name is Mike Reggs, and I will be with you on this abbreviated edition of Kutztown Live today, as we are now into break mode, and most of my students are either finishing their exams or finished their exams, or some of them actually graduating tomorrow. So happy graduation to those that will be leaving us, and we hope that you keep in touch with KUR, your campus radio station, once you're out in the great world. So this normal Kutztown Live show right now, normally done by my fine students. They are already gone for the semester, so I'm taking the reins for this particular show. And this is being that we are into the bi-weekly type segment here. We have our weekly or bi-weekly reoccurring Northeast Berks Chamber segment, where we have Lori from the Chamber and her guest as well. So I'm going to now turn the microphone over to Lori. She'll give us a little bit of a update on what's going on at the Chamber, and then for the next 10 minutes or so, talk to our guest of the week. So take it away, Lori. How's these final days of the year going for you?
Well, we're continuing to be very busy. Mike, I want to say thank you so much for having us on Kutztown Live for 3.5 years now.
I can't believe it's been 3.5 years.
I walked into your office, and within 15 minutes, we had our own chamber segment. So I thank you for that.
I think it was 10 minutes, actually.
It was 10, maybe
Okay.
12. Okay. Well, what I'd like to share first before I introduce our guest today is that we have seen an increase in new memberships at the Northeast Berks Chamber. And I'd like to announce our 7 latest members from this month. Cross Keys Insurance in Leesport and Hamburg, Sensory Concepts Orthopedic and Medical Massage in Wyomissing, B&R Computers in Kutztown, Sound Marketing Resources by David Green and Associates in the Reading area, Fatkin Natural Healing, that's a chiropractic and nutrition office in Muhlenberg, Inner Peace and Wellness Center in Hamburg, and last but not least, Cornerstone Law in Blandon. We want to welcome those 7 new members in December. So that's very exciting. As you know, our focus is on small businesses, but this year we've seen an increase in mid-sized and larger members at the Northeast Berks Chamber. So we're grateful for those members, and we look forward to partnering with them. I want to mention that our next breakfast meeting and our monthly breakfast meetings are held every month on the third Friday. Will be our annual meeting of the membership and economic forecast breakfast, and that will be held on January 17th here at Kutztown University in the South Dining Hall. If you visit our website at northeastberkschamber.com, you can register for the January breakfast or any monthly breakfast. Registration is open now for all of those, and every event, program, or activity that we host or organize is open to the public. So be sure to register early so that you can hear from the Philly Fed in January here at Kutztown University. My guest today, I'm excited to welcome, is Ben Haas, and he is the owner of Haas Financial Group here in Kutztown. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you very much for having me.
Sure. We're excited to announce that your firm joined the Chamber at the around July, I would say, in midsummer. And so we're getting to know you and your services. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I do know that you're a Kutztown native. And tell us how you got started in business here in Kutztown.
Yeah, I call myself one of the lucky ones. I got a lovely wife, 3 crazy boys, job I love and the community I love even more. Like you said, I grew up here, work here, now raising my kids here. Business owner and love to be involved in the community.
Well, that is great news. You are a certified financial planner, and I know that sometimes there's a mystique around financial planning, and that some people don't even know where to start when they're considering, how they want to preserve or grow their assets. So when you are approached by prospective clients, what are some of the questions that they ask you to find out if you're the right fit for them?
Yeah, I think the first thing that we really want to determine with people is what they're looking to accomplish. I think when you talk about finance, and you and I spoke about this a little bit before we got on air, there's so much jargon, there's so much information that people can really get bogged down in that, even to the point where it starts to feel like a bad combination of like math class and marriage counseling when you get a husband and wife together. What we're really looking to do is figure out how they think and feel about money, and then what matters most to them, so that we can really do then what the purpose of our job is, and that's, I would say, goal orientation. Really provide a personalized process to achieving goals through their very particular lens.
Now, when you think about your own business and being a good steward of other people's finances or assets, what is your approach?
I think first and foremost for us, it has to be personalized in the sense that we really need to understand what matters most to them and how they kind of digest information, right? So if you're asking how can we best be good stewards for them, I think it's to truly put ourselves in their shoes, right? We of course have by law fiduciary responsibility, but it's not to just throw a bunch of information out there either that they can't digest. Education is one of our core values. And I think if we don't find the proper way to give the right amount of information without being too much, but also in a way that they really want to be able to learn, then we're not really doing our job. So, getting to know people on the front end is really way more about the numbers, way more about getting to know them than it is about the numbers.
Right. So just as in any other line of work, relationships are very important, building those relationships. Now, you mentioned education, and I know from looking at your website that you do host events in the community, often at the library, sometimes at your office. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those offerings?
Yeah, financial education, like I said, is one of our core values. It's a great partnership with the library. We love being a part of the community. Again, there's a wealth of information out there, and I think I have a passion for trying to take that information and bring it down to a level that I think is understandable. That's my hope. So when we get offered any opportunity at any time to be out in the community and providing education, we're happy to do it.
If you had a piece of advice or a tip that you could offer to people about financial planning, what would that be, Ben?
Get started. I think we all kind of have this understanding that money has to play an important role in our lives, and that's not to say it needs to be a certain amount, right? That's all relative to our own kind of purpose and what we're looking to do. But really, to truly have financial health, that needs to be aligning not just what bills you're paying and the purpose behind them, but it's got to be about your own happiness and financial health around that. So I think it's really important for people to really think about what they're looking to accomplish, and then have an accountability partner like us that's going to be able to help them align what they're really looking to do into those buckets of purposes. So they're really using their resources more efficiently.
Yeah, I like the way
they know where they are.
I like the way you characterize it as an accountability partner. If there's someone out there listening today or later on the podcast, how can they reach out to you, Ben?
Hopefully we're not hard to find, even if you're not here in Kutztown, Pennsylvania on Main Street. Much of our web presence should be easy to find just by going haasfinancialgroup.com, haasfinancialgroup.blog. We're on social media, of course. You can reach out in many different ways. We're happy to sit down with anyone at any time, or jump on the phone if that's an easier thing. We offer complimentary consultations. We know we're not for everybody, and certainly depending on the type of advice or relationship that people are looking for, we may not be a fit for you in the way that you may not be a fit for us, but we have a lot of information out on the web that talks about our process, how we do things, our philosophies, and we're happy to connect with people if they're looking to get started.
Did you want to say anything about the team at Haas Financial Group?
Sure. I'm blessed to have a good team with a pretty narrow focus, like I said, personalized financial planning, and that means, everyone on that team is going to be really dedicated to getting to know you as a person, what makes you tick, how you best make decisions. That's our promise. So happy to have Adam. Adam and I have been together for many years. Devin just joined the team, but I've known Devin since we were kids. She grew up in Kutztown here too. So I know we have a dedicated team that's committed to our philosophies, our process, and the relationships we want to build.
All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with us today. It's been great getting to know more about your firm and your philosophy, and I hope that you hear from some of our listeners.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, and thank you, Lori. And I guess we'll see you when you're planning on being
We'll
back
be here
here?
mid-January.
All right, mid-January. Okay, we're going to pause right now, take a short break. We're going to come back with a new song from a local artist here on Kutztown Live. Stay tuned. Back here on Kutztown Live, an abbreviated version. Before I go today, wanted to put a shout out to an artist by the name of Stacy Gabel. She is an alum of Kutztown University, and she has a new song out called Straight to Voicemail. She's trying to win the Lehigh Valley Music Awards. Voting goes on until December 22nd for this song. So we'd like to give it a spin right now and encourage you to go to LehighValleyMusicAwards.org and make sure to vote for Stacy Gabel. You can get more information about her at Stacy Gabel. That's StacyGabel.com. Here's her song, Straight to Voicemail, right here on Kutztown University Radio.
Please don't call me honey, please don't call me sweetie. And if we met a week ago, just tell me that I'm pretty. So if you want to call me something other than my name, there's one thing that you should know I'm going to explain. You're going straight to voicemail, where I sent those other boys. You're going straight to voicemail. I ain't got time for this white noise. You're going straight to voicemail. I hope you learn your lesson, boy, for it's straight to voicemail. Don't text, don't write, don't message me. I'm avoiding you, can't you see? To call me boo, and I am not your baby doll. What else am I to do? So please don't call me princess unless you are a prince. This angel's gonna fly away forever, ever since you're going straight to voicemail, where I sent those other boys. You're going straight to voicemail. I ain't got time for this white noise. You're going straight to voicemail. I hope you learn your lesson, boy, for it's straight to voicemail. Don't text, don't write, don't message me. I'm avoiding you, oh, can't you see? Oh, you're a lost connection if you call me sugar lips. A pumpkin is for Halloween, so lose that bag of tricks. If you just keep your mouth shut, you could get somewhere. Your pet names are just what they are for pets. Oh God, I swear you're going straight to voicemail, where I sent those other boys. You're going straight to voicemail. I ain't got time for this white noise. You're going straight to voicemail. I hope you learn your lesson, boy, for it's straight to voicemail. Whoa, straight to voicemail, where I sent those other boys. You're going straight to voicemail. I ain't got time for this white noise. You're going straight to voicemail. I hope you learn your lesson, boy, for it's straight to voicemail. Oh, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Please won't you rescue me now?
Stacy Gabel right there, straight to voicemail. Vote for her at LehighValleyMusicAwards.org. That's LehighValleyMusicAwards.org. Voting ends December 22nd. This has been Kutztown Live. We'll see you next time.